So, welcome to the Sims Tube Cuts. I'm Joshua Lee, and today we have our very first interviewee, Bianca Noelle. Hi, Bianca.
Hi, it's good to be here.
That's great. So, how does it feel to be the very first person that we are interviewing for the Sims Tube Cuts?
I'm really honored.
Well,
what do I get? What do I get?
What do you get?
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess you'll end up having the most hits afterwards, right?
I don't want hits, I want food.
You want food?
Yeah.
Oh, Nutella, right?
Oh. Of course.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about your Nutella addiction before we actually get started into the more deep things, right? Tell us a bit about yourself.
But Nutella is deep.
Well, of course, right? Especially the bigger the jar, the deeper it gets.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it except it's my heart and soul.
Well, so tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, how long have you been voice acting for? Like
how long I've been voice acting for?
Yeah.
I would say since late 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and now I'm 21, so you can do the math.
Well, at least all our viewers and listeners know your age at this point.
Oh yeah.
And?
I'm not. I promise I'm not some little girl behind the screen.
And what was your very first role? Do you remember?
Oh man, it was. This was actually shortly before I got cast in Vanity High. It was this Cardcaptor Sakura fan dub, and I got cast as the voice of Kiro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just a really short and cute fan dub. That's as late as I can remember. Like something that I didn't cast myself in, obviously, because before that I would just do my own stuff. But that's the earliest I can remember.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your what was it about voice acting that kind of got you into it? You know.
Oh well, I've always liked acting in general. Actually, did my first theater production when I was about 5 years old, and also started singing really, really young. Also, so it's always been a part of my life, acting and whatnot. And voice acting is just another way to do all that, and just kind of happened.
Cool. Did you ever take like voice lessons? You know, like for singing or for speech or anything like that?
Never, actually. I'd like to one day, just to kind of expand on what I already can do. I've only been in choirs and stuff like that. I've never had any sort of professional guidance or anything like that. I've never paid for lessons. Just growing up with a musically inclined family, it just kind of rubbed off on me, and it's just kind of natural, I guess.
Okay, so just picking things up here and there as you
just a gradual process of learning everything that's already around me. So I feel very fortunate that I was able to grow up in that kind of environment, because I know a lot of kids don't get that privilege to be surrounded by music and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Like, aside from anything to do with acting or singing, do you have any other types of interests or anything like that?
No, this is my life. Yeah. Let's see. I'm really into photography.
Okay.
Really, really like to do that. I'm trying to get better at it. And then filmmaking ties into that as well. So I'm just really attached to my camera when I'm not attached to my microphone.
Like, are you aspiring to become professional and like anything to do with film or voice acting or anything like that?
As far as doing all that professionally and whatnot, not really. I keep this as my hobby. Something that I want to keep doing because I'm in nursing school right now. Mm-hmm. It's kind of my escape from the hectic medical side of my life. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, I think I would totally give it a shot. In the future, as far as making my passions my job, mm-hmm. maybe have a photography business on the side, as I'm working as a nurse, but we'll see. Just lots of things that I don't know are going to happen in the future, and yeah, we'll just see.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the roles that you've had in the past and current roles and such.
Okay.
So
roles in the past.
So what was your, let's say, your most memorable role, your favorite role?
Oh my
and
goodness. Why? I'm just gonna say Marie. Because I have been in projects here and there, but I would say, aside from that break we all took, Marie has been from Vanity High has been my one constant role. Mm-hmm. I've been cast in projects that haven't been continued, just small roles every now and then, and I'm trying to be a little more consistent with what projects I'm participating in, but I would definitely say Marie has been my most memorable role, and so far it's just, I guess at this point, playing her feels very natural, so it doesn't feel like a chore or anything like that, recording lines. Like, I just feel like I read the script and I feel like I'm okay with how her line is gonna go, even if you don't specify how you want it to be said. Mm-hmm. Just feel like Marie's she's my girl. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your director's very pleased to hear that.
Oh, yeah. Not that I'm biased or anything.
So, what would you say is your most challenging role that you had then?
Challenging role? Mm-hmm. Let's see. There have been roles in the past that have been pretty difficult, but I'm gonna speak more in terms of presently. Mm-hmm. I was recently cast in, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, is K-Love. It's a Sims 3 series by essiepictures. Mm-hmm. And I play Lee, the female lead. Mm-hmm. And such a fun role to play, but she's kind of hyperactive, and her emotions are all over the place, kind of like a roller coaster. She's like dreamy and wistful one moment, and then she's freaking out the next, and it's super fun to play her. But sometimes just because I'm putting so much of myself into recording and into trying to get the lines right, it's when I'm done, especially since she has so many lines because she's the lead, mm-hmm. I feel kind of exhausted after. So I would say in that sense, it's challenging because I have to put so much energy into it, but I'm loving the role so far, and the first episode is amazing. Like, I was blown away. I'm really looking forward to seeing this series continue, and if any of you guys haven't seen it yet, you totally should.
Well, I'm sure we can put some tags at the end of our interview.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's see. So, obviously you've answered what your latest role is.
Mm-hmm. I do have a couple other roles coming up. Episodes haven't been released yet. We're still working on it, but they're also Sims 2 Machinima.
Cool.
It's Snakes by voiceychic. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be playing Leah, and then also the Kaleidoscope Chronicles by xfrantastic, and be playing April. So really these look like really promising series, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how these episodes turn out.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, in terms of any voice actors in the amateur community, we pretty much keep our fingers crossed, hoping that it'll be released after we send it through our lines. Cause
right.
It's like, oh, we put so much work into it.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, we always hope for the best, right?
I think that's why also you have to be really mindful of what you do consider to participate in and like to audition for, you know, because you don't want to be let down in the end, so you just kind of have to like really hope and really kind of see does this project seem like it's going to carry through and whatnot.
Well, we've heard quite a bit of your singing on a few series here, and
yeah, quite a bit,
and like, you've definitely received quite a few compliments from the community in general, and like we had a question come through as well. If you had to choose between singing and voice acting, which would you pick if it had to be one or the other?
It's not fair. That's like making me choose between sushi and ramen. I don't know. Or like bunnies and kittens.
Well, we obviously can hear that you definitely have a lot of passion for both of them, but we really want to know which would you prefer.
Right. I would have to go with singing.
Singing?
Because, yeah, and it's really difficult for me to choose between the two, but if I had to, it would be singing, because in a sense, singing is my first love. It came before voice acting. So, came first, so I'm going to stick with that if I had to choose.
Oh, you're such a romantic there, Bianca, aren't you?
Hopeless romantic.
So another question that kind of came through was like, what type of characters do you like to play?
Characters I like to play, girls.
Are there like particular type, like with the characters themselves, like are there particular things that you're looking for when you're auditioning with the character, like a type of personality trait or anything like that?
Like a favorite type of character I like to play? I don't know. I don't look for certain characters. I just kind of, if the character resonates with me, if I feel like I could do that character justice, if the character is someone I find interesting, then I'll go for it. I don't like to stick with, though I do seem to be cast as more feminine types of roles that are hyperactive, high-pitched, energetic, or quiet, shy types. Those type of characters. I do want to kind of expand on as far as what kind of characters I play, just so I have more variety. But there isn't a particular character I like to play. I want to do all sorts of personalities. It's just so fun to do, and I'll try anything as long as, you know, I don't ruin the character the way the creator of the character wants the character to be portrayed. Yeah, as long as I do the character justice, I'll give it a shot. I know it seems like my vocal type's better for those energetic characters / shy characters, whichever one. I'm like either end of the spectrum, but yeah, no particular preference, just It's just fun to do any character just because I get to be someone else other than me for a little bit.
Do you do, like, speaking of different things and different styles, like, do you do any different kinds of voices by any chance?
Yeah, I can lower my voice. I can make it really high pitched and annoying if you ever need a really high pitched and annoying character, energetic and just stuff like that. I really need to get on making a demo reel. I had one, but it's super old. It's ancient, so I should probably remake one and upload it for people to hear. Yeah, but I feel like I have a pretty good range. I do have some auditions up that kind of show that range, but usually, honestly, I focus a lot more on emotion rather than making myself sound like someone totally different. But I do try to sound like, the character, the way the character should sound, or the creator of the character wants the character to be sounding like.
Okay. So how often do you get approached to do certain roles, and are you more prone to accept them, turn them down, or?
Right. I do get approached every now and then, especially since I started putting up my auditions on YouTube as opposed to sending them out via email. Just decided to try that out, and it seems to be working in my favor that people would be checking it out, and then they would request for me to check out their auditions for their project. And as far as being interested in certain roles and auditioning or accepting or denying, it really depends on the project. And I have had, sadly, to say no to several just because I don't want too much on my plate, and I don't want to neglect what I've already dedicated myself to, to take on another project if I feel like would be too much for me. Right now, I feel like the ones I'm already in is good enough for me. If there's something that I see that's holding auditions and I find it really interesting and I can see myself like contributing to it, I would totally love to be a part of another project, as long as it's something that I want to be in, because I don't want to feel like I'm wasting somebody's time just by saying, okay, I'll be in it. The ones I'm in right now, I'm really, really happy with. I feel like I'm really lucky to be in the projects I am now, because Vanity High, Final Melody, Caleb, all of that, they're so great, and I'm not just kissing up by saying that.
So, are there any tips or tidbits or any nuggets of wisdom that you can kind of give out to aspiring voice actors or people that are just starting to get into the whole voice acting game or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say when you were cast as a character, to carry out that character's personality to the best of your ability, try to find something in that character that you can relate to. That's what I do with every character that I play, even if it's the littlest thing, because then it's a part of yourself that you're putting into the voice, and it'll sound believable. And, you could sound exactly how the character should sound, but if you don't carry out the demeanor, the personality, the spirit of the character, then it's just not going to sound right. And that's just something that I've really, really been working on, that if I were to cast people in a project of mine, it's not just the quality of the voice, it's also emotion. And also, don't eat before you record, because then you sound really gross.
Well, very good advice that you have there. And I think we're running to a tail end here of our interview.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one last question.
Okay, bring it on.
Are you planning to make any machinima of your own?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. Okay. Well, I want to. I don't know when. And I don't know how. Oh, no, I know how, but I don't know when.
Okay.
But, sorry, I'm kind of like quoting The Little Mermaid. I don't know when, I don't know how. Something's starting right now. But, my head's all over. I want to. And it's probably not going to be as soon as I'd hope.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish I could just do one right now, but I don't have time because of school and work and all that fun stuff. But I've had this idea in my mind that's probably been rolling around in my brain for years. Like I would say maybe 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just this thing that I did try to start my own machinima several years ago, and I couldn't follow through just because it's really hard to keep going with a project. So I commend everyone who's been constantly dedicated to their series, to their project, because it's easy to just give up, and maybe not intentionally, but life happens, and you have all these things going on. And for those people who can constantly entertain and constantly put out quality projects, I really admire those people. But yeah, hopefully I can be one of those people one day. I'm pretty sure I would do one, make my own machinima, but I have to sort of plan it around my life. But hopefully one day people see something from me. For now, I'll just be the voice to send the machinima.
Well, that sounds good. Well, thank you for letting us interview here, Bianca, and thank you for giving us some of your time.
Of course, you're welcome anytime.
Awesome. So we'll put up some of your works on the tail end of this interview as little tags, and check out Bianca's channel on YouTube, everyone.
Awesome.
And for everyone who is listening today and watching, have a good night.
Good night.
I'd like to wipe that smile off your face. You have no idea what you do to me. I'll never say. I'll keep the secret off my lips. I'll never tell you. The girls are craving for your kiss and they can